Welcome to October in Athens. I am down in Syntagma Square. I'm meeting a friend later, but I wanted to come down and see what was happening and see how many tourists there are. I've already heard a lot of Americans. I think there must be a cruise ship because they were talking about a cruise ship, and it's very crowded. It is Saturday, October 12th. We are having a mini heat wave here. They had said that it would get warm this week and over the weekend, and then it will go back to sort of being normal next week. I think it was about 28 yesterday. I think it's supposed to be a little bit warmer today, which is like over 85 degrees, I think, in Fahrenheit. I'm hearing like a band, and I thought it was in Syntagma Square, but it sounds like it's on Irmu, but there's a bus and I can't see what's happening. It's some kind of procession, and I can't catch up to it, so I don't know. It's not a protest, though. Oh, they finally stopped. Not sure what is going on. I figured out what it was. So it's this organization called Best Buddies. We actually have it at the university that I work at in Qatar, and it's basically an organization that helps physically and mentally disabled people kind of integrate into society, help teach them skills. It's a great organization, and that was a lot of fun. It's like this huge drum line of people. Sometimes you just never know what you're going to see when you're out in Athens, and sometimes I don't know what's happening because I don't watch the Greek news, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't understand 80% of it. So sometimes it's a nice surprise, though. I'll take it. And instead of showing you how busy Monastiraki is, there are 2 basketball games happening. You know, stuff is always happening here. There was stuff happening in Syntagma too, but they were closing up, so I couldn't tell what was happening. This is sponsored by the National Power Company, it looks like, but I'm not sure of the purpose, obviously. Looks like kids in one court and older kids in the other court. I didn't stay in Monastiraki because it was so loud, and then as I walked down to go get cash at the machine, I could hear that the band had followed me. And I'm going into Siri anyway to meet my friend, so I came up through the quieter spots. And it's definitely still plenty of tourists. I just stopped and helped some people find their hotel. I have definitely seen the square be busier, but it's still pretty busy, excuse me. And I just heard some people getting a food tour. So things are still happening here. I am at Kalimeras, which if you've been following me for a while, I've been here before, but I haven't been here in a while, and they've expanded, and they now have this inside-outside garden space, which is really nice, because they're always super busy. So, and it looks like they have a new menu. I don't know if I'm going to order food or not, but I've got all these juices now that I might try. Okay, it's not a juice. It's a non-alcoholic cocktail, but whatever. It's strawberries, homemade lemonade with ginger, soda, and mint. And there are actually whole strawberries in it. And it's really tasty. I am about to get back on the metro to go home. And as I was crossing the street, all of these people came through. It's definitely getting busier now that it's getting later in the day. It's about 6:30, and now it's a lot of Greeks that I heard. So lots of people out, and it's really nice now. Like, it feels great out. But there is this weird cloud, and I keep saying it's going to rain, but so far it hasn't. So I'm hoping to try to get most of the way home before it starts.
It's now Monday, October 14th, and I just left my Greek lesson, and I am walking to my bus stop at Syntagma, and we had like a mini heat wave, as I mentioned before. Now I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt over my t-shirt, still have sandals on, but like it's kind of breezy cool, not like cold or anything, but the wind is cold. So I just thought I'd show you guys what Syntagma looks like. It's about 9:30 at night now.
Being that it's Monday, it's not very busy at all. I'm not going to walk down the stairs because what I didn't tell you guys on Saturday is I fell down those stairs on Saturday, and it hurt. Now, I landed on my bottom, so it wasn't a huge deal, but still a little sore. So I'm going to go around the long way to my bus. Hey guys, it's Thursday, October 17th, and I am up in Kifisia for an appointment, and suddenly we've had a change of weather. It's only about 21 down at my house. It's 19 up here, which is about, 66, 67, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. It feels great, and the breeze is actually really cool. Like, I have on pants and a lightweight shirt, and I kind of wish I had on a different shirt, but it's fine. It's refreshing now. I really like it up here. It's nice and green, and it's kind of weird though. There are parts of it that feel very like an American suburb. I have to walk through that in a minute, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is what I mean. It's like one of those little outdoor malls that we have in the US, and you know, it's just feels like one of those. It's really just this section and the road that I'm walking to. It feels like it has some shops as well, but it has a Gap, which is obviously a very American clothing brand. That's really about it in terms of like the things that are American up here, but yeah. There's also a really good Mexican place up here called Dos Hermanos. For a while after my appointment, I was going to eat there, but my time has changed, and they don't open by the time I leave, so which is good because I was spending a lot of money on margaritas and Mexican food. The pharmacy sign says it's 17 degrees. My phone says it's 19, so no wonder I feel like I need a jacket. I am very early, which sometimes happens because sometimes I hit all of the things that I need to do to get up here, the bus, the metro, so I've stopped, got a coffee at the Alpha Vita that's here, and let me tell you, it might be the cheapest coffee I've gotten in Greece. It's a double Americano, and it was €1.30. Unfortunately, none of the Alpha Vitas near me have a coffee shop. Otherwise, I might be going to them more often. I usually just make coffee at home, so it's about 2:40 in the afternoon, and it's so nice outside. Like, even this morning before I left, I was sitting at my balcony and I left my windows open, like cracked, before I left because it's that nice out. It hasn't been this cool in a while, and I don't think we're really going to get the heat back. I think it's finished. I think that little heat wave we have, it was it. Like, I was looking at the temperatures. It does go up a little bit, like in the mid 70s, but it's never going to be like 80 again. So I think officially fall is finally here. I am back in the center, and I'm at the Acropolis entrance next to the museum. It's about 5:15. There's absolutely no one in line, so that's interesting. It is cool out, and I noticed the tourists have on shorts, so they obviously are a little bit unprepared for the cooler weather. I'm unprepared. Some friends of mine who live over here had posted earlier on their Facebook page saying that the line for the Acropolis Museum was really long. So I'm gonna go check it out, and there's all these vehicles here, which is unusual. It makes me think there's some kind of VIP visit going on, because there's not usually any cars right here, and they're not all government. Some of them are like fancy vehicles. There's no one in line now, so whatever they were seeing earlier is finished. I guess maybe the line is longer in the morning than now. I see some people, but I think they're part of a tour group. Glad I'm going home now because I definitely need a jacket. It's not that cold, but the wind is cold, so that's what makes it feel a little bit cooler than it actually is, I think. But it was definitely cooler up in Kifisia. I was actually kind of cold over there. So we'll see. I don't think that the warm is going to come back. So we'll just have to see what the next week or so brings. There are still plenty of tourists here, though. I keep hearing English and seeing lots of suitcases. So the season is definitely just longer. Although in Athens it tends to not die off too much. But by the time like November comes, this should be a lot more dead. But we'll have to see what this year brings. I keep thinking it's like September, but it's the middle of October now. Probably because I never want summer to be over here, but I am kind of grateful for a change in temperature. Here we have a tour group going by on these scooters, which I'm not sure how I feel about them. At least they're not, in a big crowd. Because sometimes the big tour groups are in this big mass of people blocking the street. So that's one good thing. I am back down in Syntagma today. It is Friday, October 18th. I had to think about that for a minute. It's still cooler than it has been, and as you may be able to see in the video, it is quite windy. It's not as cool as it feels yesterday, though. The breeze isn't quite as cold. In the shade, it feels cool. In the sun, it feels warm. And I'm actually kind of surprised at how busy it is on a Friday. Usually during the week, it's not as busy down here, but maybe because it's Friday, I'm not sure. But it's pretty hopping, and it seems to be a lot of Greek people as well. We have stopped at this place called Anana, and we both got the omelet. But the building is really cool, and it looks like it's pretty popular with the younger crowd. But it's in this nice old building here, so we'll see how it is. My friend needed to buy some things for his house, so we have come over to Athens Street where all the little shops are, just to see if they had what he needed, and of course they did. But just thought I'd show you what it's like down here. Not as busy as I thought it would be. Well, we walked up and down Athens a little bit, and my friend has now gone home, and I am going to go over to Siri for just a minute because the other day when I was down here, I saw this drawing/painting in an antique store window, but I wanted to see how much it was, but they were closed. So I'm gonna walk over there and see if they're open, because it's now like 6:15, and so sometimes those shops open back up in the afternoon. So let's see what we can see. They may not be open. It's one of these places that doesn't have hours, so it's just a sort of a chance thing. And then I'm gonna go home because it is getting cool now that the sun is starting to go down, and I still have on like sandals. The one problem is I need to remember where the store is. I think it was further down, but I don't quite remember exactly, but I'll find it. In the meantime, we'll just enjoy the view. It's definitely getting busier down here now that it's getting later. At least it seems that way. Unfortunately, they're closed, as I kind of expected they would be. I'm just gonna have to keep trying. Of course, maybe by the time I try and they're actually open, it'll be gone. I'm not sure. This one here in the middle. Oh well. I'm over by the other side of the ancient Agora that they've never really finished excavating, but looks like they've been doing work because this was all covered in like greenery and stuff, and it's now all been cleared. And there's a new like tent where they've been working, it looks like, so that's interesting. Kind of wonder if they'll ever open this side up or if it'll just always be closed. Hard to see. Kind of hard to see behind the fence, but you can see how it's all been cleared. At one point it like completely flooded, so it's kind of an improvement. But yeah, I don't remember this being so organized before. There are lots of people up on Areopagus Hill watching the sunset. Probably one of the best places to watch the sunset. I have decided that I'm going to walk through the market part instead of past all the restaurants because I am not going to stop and eat. I am freezing. It's now Saturday and I'm out once again. I've been out a lot this week. This week my Greek lessons got moved to Saturday and in the afternoon instead of at night. So I am over near the university. I have to get money for my lesson, but I also need to pick up another book that just came out that my teacher recommends for grammar, and it's actually in English, which will be somewhat helpful, I think. So I'm gonna do that. The bookstore that everybody goes to for like academic books is over here. I probably can't show you inside because there's always tons of people in there. In case you're wondering, there's some sort of event happening at the university, so there's all this really loud music. But I don't know what's happening. There's no one there, it's just music. This is the bookstore. If you want language books, it's this side. And the Greek textbooks are downstairs. Unfortunately, they were out of the one that I needed, and now I have lots of time to kill. So they do have English fiction, so I'm gonna go take a look around. I have gotten off the bus from my Greek lesson, and I take the bus home that drops me right by the Acropolis Museum sometimes, but it's trying to rain on me. So as much as I would like to walk over there and see how busy it is, I'm not going to do that because I don't really want to get wet because it is quite cool now that the sun is starting to go down and the wind has picked back up again. So I learned my lesson the last 2 days. I have on real shoes and I have a scarf today just to keep the breeze off my face and my neck. I now have to figure out what I'm doing for dinner because I've been really lazy about going to the supermarket. So I have nothing in my house and it's 6:30 and I know it's early to eat, but I'm hungry. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Because it's trying to rain, I've decided that it's probably just best for me to go home. I have lots of books with me as well, because even though they didn't have my book, I bought other books. I know, not the most exciting Saturday evening, but I'm at the age now, well, I've kind of always been at the age where I enjoy being at home. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm currently watching the last season of Call the Midwife, and yeah, that makes me happy. So I'll see you guys on the next day. It's now Tuesday, October 22nd. And as you can see, it's really sunny today. It's still not hot, but it's not so cool as it was when it was so windy. I haven't really been out for a walk in my neighborhood in a while, mostly because it's been so hot this summer. And normally I would go in the walk in the mornings because it's cool, but it wasn't like that this summer. So I'm trying to get back into the habit. I'm on my lunch break, and I thought it would be a nice time to go out, try to get back into some shape of walking, and just see if there's anything happening in my neighborhood too. There have been a lot of new shops opening in a bunch of the empty places in Kukaki, but this direction is towards Petralona, and there's still tons of empty shops on this street. And it makes me kind of sad because I feel like this is a really nice street and there are lots of apartments, but there are no shops or anything. There are a few of them that are occupied, but they're by businesses. I mean, I don't know, maybe the neighborhood enjoys it because it's quiet, but there's nothing on this street, hardly at all. But it does make for a nice walk over here. I don't have to dodge anything in the sidewalk, and actually the sidewalks over here last year were fixed. So far they're holding up pretty well. Alright guys, today is the day that I'm finally, and a little bit late, sending my ballot off, and hopefully No, I checked. It'll be there in time. But it's something that I've talked about with myself, and then I just forgot to like get the actual ballot. So I got it earlier this week, so I'm now down here at the DHL to mail it, and then walk home a little bit because it's nice outside. Okay, in 4 years' time, guys, remind me that I need to A, request my ballot earlier and get postage. That way I can mail it from the embassy and not have to spend so much money to vote. But you know what? It's worth it, and you know what? It's important. It's important no matter who's running. So I do it. It doesn't. I'm okay spending the money. Now I'm going to walk home, and I'm gonna walk through Plaka because the DHL is basically in Plaka, and I'll show you a little bit of that. There are so many people here and so many tour groups. Like, I'm shocked. It's so late in the year, and to see so many people down here. This is busier than when I was down here earlier this month. And I'm hearing lots of different languages. I'm hearing English and Italian and French. So it's not all American tourists either. So that's also interesting. I read an article the other day that said in August that while visitors were up, revenue was down. So that's interesting. And look at this. Look how many people are here. Just to give you some context, it's almost 12 o'clock noon. Oh my goodness. Wow. And it's a Thursday. It's not a weekend. I wonder if there are several cruise ships in, and maybe that's why, but wow. I'm glad I'm going home and not staying down here. Interesting. The line to buy tickets is all the way here, out into the street, and then the line, obviously, if you've already have your tickets, is not as long. Crazy. All right. Glad I'm not going up there today. I'm going to end the video here, guys, and with this lovely view of the Acropolis on this fabulous day. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.